Delhi blast probe that is now widening by the day, and Times now bringing you exclusive updates from multiple fronts. The investigators, which are leaving now no stone unturned as they piece together the network behind the deadly 10th of November explosion. There have been fresh CCTV footages as well and grabs that exactly point out to Dr. Omar Nabi, the terrorist near the Red Fort, inspecting the area hours before the blast. As the probe intensifies, authorities stress that the investigation remains focused on uncovering the full scale of the plot, ensuring that justice is delivered swiftly to those behind the Red Fort blast, where nearly we are looking at 11 innocent lives having been lost. So let's get started and get you the ground reports, multiple angles on multiple fronts with multiple reporters there. We have Priyank, Shivam, Abhishek, Raj and Bhavtosh joining us, and we also have Adeep connected with us. Well, there has been in the last 48 hours alone, when we speak of these developments that has been taking place, we also speak about when it comes to the conspiracy angle. So let's get started and break each and every angle that we are getting for our viewers. Putting that in perspective, let's talk about the security agencies. What has now been said have recovered diaries of the terrorists Dr. Omar and Dr. Muzammil, and which are likely to provide answers to many questions about the Delhi bombings. Now, these diaries were recovered on Tuesday and Wednesday from Dr. Omar's room, and that has been identified as room number 4 at the Al Falah University, and Dr. Muzammil's room, which is room number 13 from within the university campus. Now, police also recovered a diary from Muzammil's room and the same room where the police recovered explosives in Dodge, just 500 meters from Al Falah University. Now, what is being suggested that code words have been used in these recovered diaries and notebooks, which also has a reference to November 8th to November 12th. Now, sources say that the word operation is used several times in those diaries, and now this would be a big moment when it comes to decoding the terror plot that is now being said would be used as far as the other terrorists who have been taken into custody. Dr. Omar Nabi, who is said to be the terrorist, the mastermind behind this terror conspiracy. However, when it comes to carrying out spectacular terror blasts across the national capital, well, that has now failed. Let's talk about Abhishek to this angle, because Abhishek, ग्राउंड रिपोर्ट्स हमने देखी है अल फलाह यूनिवर्सिटी का, जिस तरीके से हमने देखा है कि कहां पर कैंपस है, रेजिडेंस है, डॉक्टर्स है जहां वो रहते हैं, लेकिन उसका किस तरीके से दुरुपयोग किया जा रहा था टेरर कंस्पिरेसी के नाते। ये डायरीज का जो जरा एंगल है उसके में बताइए कि उन डायरीज में आखिरकार है क्या। अभिषेक।
देखिए, बिल्कुल जांच एजेंसियां जैसे जैसे आगे जांच कर रही हैं, कई सारे राज निकल के सामने आ रहे हैं। अब जो डायरी है उसकी बात निकल कर सामने आई है। उमर और मुजम्मिल अल फलाह यूनिवर्सिटी में पढ़ते थे और वहां पर पढ़ाते भी थे। इसके अलावा बताया जा रहा है कि जहां जिस हॉस्टल में ये रुके थे उसकी जब जांच की गई तो वहां से 2 डायरी मिली है, एक उमर की और एक मुजम्मिल की बताई जा रही है। इस डायरी में ऑपरेशन शब्द का इस्तेमाल किया गया है और इस डायरी में 8 से 12 नवंबर की जो डेट है, जो पेजेस होते हैं, उसके अंदर बहुत सारी जो बातें हैं वो लिखी गई हैं, कुछ नाम भी लिखा गया है। अब एजेंसियां इन डायरीज के बिहाफ पे जो जांच है उसको बहुत ज्यादा तेज कर दी है। लगातार जो कनेक्शन है इन लोगों के और इनके आसपास जो छात्र थे जिनके साथ ये मीटिंग करते थे या फिर इनके जो करीबी लोग थे उनसे पूछताछ शुरू कर दी है। 6 लोगों को बताया जा रहा है अब तक अल फलाह यूनिवर्सिटी से डिटेन किया गया है, हिरासत में लेकर उनसे पूछताछ की जा रही है। लेकिन जो डायरी के अंदर जो डिटेल्स मिले हैं, इनको जो एजेंसियां हैं वो बहुत बारीकी के साथ जो जांच है वो कर रही है, क्योंकि उसमें हिसाब किताब भी लिखा हुआ है, कुछ नाम भी लिखे हुए हैं। इसके अलावा 8 से 12 तारीख का उसमें जिक्र है और ऑपरेशन शब्द का इस्तेमाल है। अब क्या ये ऑपरेशन दिल्ली में हुए विस्फोट के बारे में था या फिर किसी और विस्फोट के बारे में था, ये एजेंसियां पता लगाने की कोशिश करेंगी। लेकिन जांच जैसे जैसे आगे बढ़ रही है वैसे वैसे इस पूरे मामले में नए खुलासे हो रहे हैं, विस्फोटक खुलासे हो रहे हैं, और जो डायरी है वो इस पूरे मामले में बहुत अहम करी है। और यही कारण है कि एजेंसियां
particular room is now concerned in the campus and the Al Falah University that has now been sealed by the authorities. What is being said that several incriminating documents and diaries have now been seized, and they rather hold the entire story of the terror plot that has been foiled. But let's play out this ground report. We managed to enter the Al Falah University, and also when it comes to all of these doctors, highly educated, highly trained medical practitioners, but how did they get indoctrinated to such an extent that they wanted to carry out serial blasts across the national capital? Take a look.
Multiple agencies currently present at the Al Falah University. We're standing at the main gate, showing you the visuals from here as well. Just a while back, there was constant buzzing movement of multiple agencies here. We had the UP STF, the Haryana STF, the Delhi special cell as well was here, and NIA officials have also been doing the rounds. Remember, this university is currently under radar because two professors have been picked up in connection with the blast that occurred at the Red Fort area as well. The university has also, in fact, issued a statement. We're carrying the official statement with us at the moment, and they have distanced themselves from any involvement that both of these professors had beyond their capacity as professors, as teachers in the university. We've been speaking to students also from the university who've been coming out for short breaks. They're also quite, in fact, shocked by these incidents. Remember, in fact, gruesome details have also come in as per their involvement. All the angles are being probed, as we had discussed yesterday as well. About 52 students were picked up, including faculty as well, for interrogation. 6 have been detained as well. That detention is going on. We also saw a truck go in and come back close. So more possible, it is quite possible that more detentions and interrogations will be taking place today as well.
All right. When we speak of the contact list of all of those terrorists who have now been taken into custody, that is the other angle that we are going to break for our viewers. As you saw that ground report coming in from the Al-Falah University, let's take a look exactly what we are getting to know, as Dr. Shaheen's links are now said to be under scanner. Now, what is being said that her contact list is something that is now being investigated. Was she in touch with multiple students as well? What has now been said that as far as her aide is concerned, who's been detained, which is one of identified as Dr. Arif, who has now been picked up from Kanpur, and the UP ATS has now detained him, and he's been questioned. He's also originally hailing from Jammu and Kashmir and was studying in Kanpur College. All of that is now been investigated as far as when it comes to the electronic devices that have now been seized from the arrested terrorists. So on that very angle, as far as when it comes to Adib, the information that is now coming across, Dr. Shaheen, her contact list, what is all that she was in connection with multiple of these individuals, saying another doctor, Dr. Arif, who has been identified, and he too has been picked up for questioning.
Well, definitely, Amita, see, Dr. Mohammad Arif, who is a student of DM cardiology in a college, in medical college in Kanpur, he has been picked up by UP ATS and other security agencies. And what we are learning is that Mohammad Arif was in fact in touch with the Dr. Shaheen, and the security agencies are now probing the possible link with Dr. Shaheen and Dr. Parvez. So they are saying that Dr. Shaheen has contacted multiple doctors who originally hails from Jammu and Kashmir. In fact, Dr. Arif, he just came back a few months before he came to Kanpur. He was originally staying in Jammu and Kashmir. He's a resident of Jammu and Kashmir, and he joined this college in Kanpur. The agencies have picked him up. The questioning is going on with Dr. Mohammad Arif. So to establish the link between Mohammad Arif and with Dr. Shaheen, the security agencies believe that Dr. Shaheen, in order to expand her network, she contacted several of the people of the like-minded people with the ideology of the extremist ideology. So now the security agencies are probing all the links which are related to Dr. Shaheen and Dr. Parvez. In fact, the security agencies and UP ATS, they are tracing the digital footprint of Dr. Shaheen and his younger brother Dr. Parvez. In fact, when Dr. Parvez was picked up after Dr. Shaheen was interrogated by the security agencies, that is when raids were conducted in Uttar Pradesh and Dr. Parvez was arrested. And now what we are learning is that Mohammad Arif has been picked up from Kanpur by UP ATS.
All right. Well, that's the Kanpur angle for now, what we are getting to know as far as multiple states and their anti-terror squads, the ATS, have been getting active. When it comes to the connection of these arrested terrorists, that has now been investigated. But let's now talk about and go back to that Al-Falah University campus, which is now in question. And what is now being said, building number 17, what is being said that this became the meeting point for these terrorists, where they used to come together, plan their terror plots, and what is being said that this entire area that has now been sealed, the room that has been sealed, several incriminating documents and diaries that have been seized. Abhishek, इसी के बारे में जो आप जानकारी दे रहे थे कि ये जो रूम नंबर बिल्डिंग नंबर 17 जो बताई जा रही है उसमें कई ऐसे सारे कमरे थे जहां पे ये जो डॉक्टर्स है वो आखिरकार रहते थे और इनका एक ये मीटिंग पॉइंट बन गया था। तो वहां पर वो प्रैक्टिस भी करते थे, वहां पर वो पढ़ाई भी करते थे और वहां पर टेरर कंस्पिरेसी भी करते थे।
देखिए, अल-फलाह यूनिवर्सिटी की अगर मैं बात करूं तो वहां पे कल जो एक्सक्लूसिव रिपोर्ट हमने अंदर से दिखाई थी उसमें 2 ब्लॉक बने हुए हैं। एक ब्लॉक जो फीमेल डॉक्टर्स हैं उनके लिए है, स्टाफ के लिए है, और जो दूसरा ब्लॉक है वो जो मेल डॉक्टर्स हैं उनके लिए, स्टाफ के लिए है। उमर और मुजम्मिल ये दोनों मेल ब्लॉक में रहते थे। रूम नंबर 3 और 14 बताया जा रहा है कि वहां पर उनका घर था। 17 नंबर में एक मीटिंग पॉइंट उन्होंने बना के रखा था। वहां पे कई सारे बच्चे जो स्टूडेंट्स वहां पे थे वो भी, जो हमारे सूत्र बता रहे हैं कि वो आते थे, उमर से और मुजम्मिल से मुलाकात करते थे। अब ये मुलाकात किस लिए होती थी ये जांच का विषय है। इसके अलावा जो डायरी मिली है, इस डायरी से कई सारी बातें जो हैं वो निकलकर सामने आ सकती हैं। कई सारे राज जो हैं वो बेपर्दा हो सकते हैं, क्योंकि उसमें जो नाम लिखे गए हैं या फिर जो डिटेल्स है उसका एजेंसी कहीं ना कहीं जो वेरिफिकेशन है वो करवाएगी और उससे कई सारी बातें जो हैं वो निकलेंगी। लेकिन यूनिवर्सिटी के अंदर इन लोगों की मीटिंग होती थी, इस बात को जो है वो एजेंसियां मान रही हैं, जो हमारे सूत्र बता रहे हैं। और ये मीटिंग किस टॉपिक पे होती थी, किस लिए होती थी, वो जांच का विषय है। यूनिवर्सिटी कैंपस से महज 500 मीटर की दूरी पे ही जो मुजम्मिल है उसने एक कमरा रेंट पे ले रखा था और वहीं पे भारी मात्रा में जो विस्फोटक सामग्री है वो बरामद किया गया था। तो आप समझिए कि जब उसको यूनिवर्सिटी कैंपस में ऑलरेडी एक हॉस्टल अलॉटेड था, उसके बाद वो 2 जगह पे यानी 2 कमरे जो है वो लेता है और वहां पर विस्फोटक सामग्री मिलती है। ऐसे में कई सारे सवाल है कि वहां पर कौन कौन लोग जाते थे और इन ये कहां बातचीत करते थे, किन किन के साथ इनके कॉन्टैक्ट थे। इन सभी बातों की जो जांच है वो प्रमुखता से एजेंसियां करेंगी। और
रिलेशन टू द रेड फोर्ट blast that is now emerged, that building number 17 of Al-Falah University was a meeting point for these terrorists, as sources suggesting that room number 13 of building number 17 was the site of a conspiracy to carry out bombings at several locations in Delhi and even in Uttar Pradesh. But speaking of the conspiracy angle, with the accused terrorists who've now been taken into custody, the Red Fort blast case terrorists Dr. Muzammil, Dr. Adil, Dr. Omar and Dr. Shaheen jointly raised nearly 26 lakh rupees in cash, which was handed over to Omar, and they later procured around 26 quintals of fertilizer worth 3 lakhs from Gurugram in Nuh and other areas as well, intended for the IED preparation. Priyank will speak on this angle because Priyank, highly trained, highly educated, they were medical practitioners, they exactly knew what they were doing, misusing their knowledge for such kind of terror conspiracies. And what is being said that they procured certain chemicals far away from Delhi and to bring it back so that they could extract ammonium nitrate, which turned out to be deadly.
Yes, Sati, that's what the strategy was, to procure more and more the explosive material, because these are the urea and locally found material which are available for the farming purpose, which was supposed to be converted into an ID. That's why the lab of this Al-Falah University was also being used by these suspects to make a better kind of improvised explosive device, and this was certainly something new. But what we can certainly say that the probe is now focusing on the role of Dr. Shaheen, as Adib was also pointing out, because over the 10 years, she was not so much in touch with other individuals post her divorce with one doctor who was from the state of Maharashtra. And the same year, she also got introduced to Dr. Muzammil, who was studying in a university here in Haryana. So the fact of the matter is that a woman who was from Lucknow, she got married to someone in Maharashtra, and she was the topper of her university. That is clearly suggesting that she got radicalized through various means or social media platform, or someone individually could have met her. That is certainly something on which the officials are right now focusing on their investigation, because Dr. Shaheen's role in indoctrinating all these young doctors, these young MBBS students, is certainly something on which the agency will be focusing on. We know that a Maulvi from the state of Jammu and Kashmir was arrested by the police officials also, but how he came in contact with Shaheen, how Shaheen kept on working for the Jaish-e-Mohammed or ISKP, whatever you name them, because these are the proxies who have been working in the hands of the Pakistani ISI, and how they started making their own module, which was a self-radicalized module, and converting people and indoctrinating youth in the name of jihad is something which can spill out the major nexus of the operative who have been working as a sleeper cell for this particular module. We are at this location, and once again, let me tell you that while talking about Shaheen's role, it is also important to note that in 2018, Shaheen had reportedly started helping Muzammil, and they all met in the room number 17, as you were also pointing out, and the investigators are right now mapping on the communication trail for the last 10 years and trying to determine that how many Kashmiri students was she in contact with. The ATS and the JKP are also jointly verifying, Amita, the digital communication of the travel record between 2015 to 2023. So this is a major thing for which the official will be conducting raid. That's what Adib was also pointing out, that the brother of Dr. Shaheen has been picked up for questioning. The family has been in support of Shaheen. She got divorced and she went back to Lucknow.
Dr. Parvez, who has been picked up for questioning as far as the relatives are now also concerned. But Bhaptosh, what has been the common ground that we are looking at? How did all of these highly educated medical practitioners come together with an idea of carrying out terror across the national capital? How they were mainly, indoctrinated to a certain level to such an extent that they managed to even procure weapons, they managed to procure cash, they managed to procure a lot of chemicals as well, which eventually turned out to be deadly, 11 people losing their lives.
Well, Amita, adding to what our colleagues have been saying, education is very different. Education doesn't stop you from being radicalized, and this is another case in which people who are educated again got radicalized. How it happened is subject matter of investigation. But what we have gathered from various, after speaking to various multiple sources, is that one former imam or an imam had gone to the university, was preaching and was giving sermons for a very long time in the university where our colleagues are, and he was the one who in fact radicalized few of them. Consequent to that, they formed a WhatsApp group or some kind of a social media group in which others joined, particularly Muzammil and another doctor in Srinagar, and also Shaheen. What happened next was that they got so radicalized that they started purchasing fertilizer from which they extracted ammonia nitrate, mixed it with fuel oil, and then they wanted to carry out serial blast. Omar was the one who was in a way a mastermind. He was the one who was instigating others to carry out spectacular attack. One they wanted to carry out and coincide it with the Babri Masjid demolition, but the plan fell out after one of them, the doctor in Srinagar, was spotted putting out posters for Jaish-e-Mohammed.
Well, you cannot hide. This is exactly what was posted by Jammu and Kashmir police just minutes before the explosion happened. It was an act of haste. It was an act of panic, what is being said till now as far as the investigation revealed. But their plan did spectacularly fail as far as what they originally planned of carrying out serial blasts across the national capital. But another angle there, when we speak of the car and the other car in question, the red EcoSport. Now, what we are learning from this particular angle is that the investigative authorities are looking whether separate vehicles were being prepared for the blast. Now, after the I-20 and EcoSport cases, it is being learned that the suspects were planning to prepare two more similar old vehicles which would contain explosives and would enlarge the target. Shivam, on this particular angle, because this is exactly what had happened at Delhi's near Red Fort area when the car, that was the I-20 car that had multiple owners, was sold off multiple times, and what is now being said that it was laden with nearly 80 kgs of explosives. The EcoSport was also used when it comes to transporting of such explosives and weapons as well. Were there other cars also in question? What is being said that these cars, I-20 in the meanwhile, was also said to be parked at the same university in question.
Yes, Amita. In fact, the question when it comes to around the cars that have been used, EcoSport was the second car on which the manhunt was launched yesterday, and in the evening the news came in that the EcoSport has been parked at a village near Fatehpur, just 12 kilometers away from the Al Falah University, where the I-20 was also parked. So again, the investigative authorities did not want to leave any stones unturned, and that is why we have seen intensive probe for almost almost 13 to 14 hours that happened through the entire night at this particular place. Even after 14 hours, you can still see the police officials gardening this car. This area has been cordoned off. The access has been blocked. Just few minutes ago, the NSG and the bomb squad trucks have just left.
That we're looking at where this red eco sport that has been seized. Of course, this entire area for now has been restricted, but that remains to be one other question, that was there 1, 2 or other cars as well that was used in this terror plot. Thanking all of the reporters there. This has been an extensive coverage that we continue to get for our viewers. Apologies, Isha, we couldn't come to you.